Gradation of Subathuva Beneficence Attained by Shani, astrologer Aditya Guruji. In the previous chapters, I had explained how a single planet would exhibit contrasting characters based on its beneficial or maleficent status. Likewise, Shani, that is supposed to give all that is unwanted to mankind when getting strengthened directly, would give beneficial results to the native while attaining Subathuva Beneficence, or Sukshma, intricate, strength. If the two aforementioned states of gradations of Subathuva are understood clearly, then it can be predicted very precisely whether Shani is posited to give beneficial or maleficent effects to the native. The Subathuva gradations of Shani could be listed in the order as given below. 1. Aspect of a powerful Guru on Shani. 2. Conjunction of Guru and Shani. 3. Placed in the house owned by Guru. 4. Aspect of Shukra on Shani. 5. Aspect of solitary Buddha. 6. Aspect of waxing or a total Chandra. 7. Conjunction of Shani with Shukra. 8. Conjunction with Buddha. 9. Conjunction with a waxing Chandra. 10. Placed in the houses owned by Shukra or Buddha. Shani's placement with the configurations as mentioned above in a Kendra or in Upakaya houses like 3rd or 6th or 11th and not in Kona houses, would result in top-rated Subathuva giving utmost benefits to the native. If one raises a doubt as to why a Shani placed in a house owned by Guru is given the 3rd status in Subathuva ladder, while it gets only a 10th position in Subathuva when placed in the house owned by Shukra, is it not true that Shani attains exaltation in Tala, house owned by Shukra etc.? Then it only means that he has not yet understood Shani. It must be clearly understood that while Shani in exaltation would only attain strength directly, whereas Shani placed in the house of Guru would attain Subha-strength. Shani is a planet that is devoid of any beneficial luminescence. Hence, if he has to give benefits to human beings, then his harmful rays have to be filtered and be supplemented with luminescence from Subha-planets. The extent to which Shani loses its harmful luminescence and replaces it with beneficial luminescence, would be the levels to which Shani would give favorable results. Most importantly, the planet that provides luminosity to Shani should be powerful. Hence, while mentioning about the status of Chandra, I have clearly delineated as total and waxing phases. Though the natural benefic, Shukra, is a friend of Shani in comparison to Guru, the association with the proximal Guru would attribute more Subathuva in comparison to that of Shukra, which is quite far away. That too, the aspect of Guru is more beneficial than the association with Guru. When Subathuva and Sukshma strength conjoin, Shani would be determined to give totally beneficial results to the native. With a crisp explanation on the Papa-Granal and Sukshma value, intricate strength of malefic planets, theory, I am in the process bringing out a book based on further research explaining the degree-wise Sukshma status of Shani. The higher level accurate explanations on Shani could then be comprehended better. Another contradicting feature is that the beneficial planet that is sanctifying Shani either by association or by aspect from 7th house would lose its ability to give his designated favorable significations to the native. Shani has an evil implication to Kataka ascendants. By virtue of being a deadly malefic owning the 8th house and also the 7th house representing wife, friends and partners. When Shani is placed powerfully in the 7th house to Kataka and Sima ascendants, in Makara and Kama houses being his own and Mool Trikona houses respectively, then he would spoil the ascendant denoting the self of the native, 4th and 9th houses denoting mother and father respectively through his evil gaze. It is because of this effect that he is considered deadly enemy of Surya and Chandra, the lord of Sima and Kataka respectively. If Shani has to give favorable results to the natives of Kataka and Sima, then his eyes and hands should be tied down. Only in an extremely complex situation with Subathuva and Sukshma strength would he be in a position to give any favors to the ascendants of Kataka and Saima. If we were to look into the states of Shani to deliver favors to the ascendants of Kataka, then the states with his placement in the Upakaya houses like 3rd, 6th or 11th houses belonging to his friends, Buddha and Shukra, the houses of Guru, who sanctifies him more when he has attained Subathuva and Sukshma strength. The intricacy on the significance of Upakaya configuration, as stressed in our scriptures, is that when the planets evil to the ascendant are placed in 3rd or 11th houses, they would be held in the stars of planets that are friendly to the native. That means, the stars in the 3rd and 11th houses would be owned by planets favorable to the ascendant. Further, these houses would also be a favorable destination for the planets evil to the ascendant. As per this arrangement, Shani when placed in the friendly 3rd or 11th houses would give completely favorable results, being in the stars of ascendant Lord Chandra or Lord of Wealth Surya, and the Rajayog Adipathy, planet attributing favors equivalent to that of being a king here Mangal. Shani would also give favors when placed in the other Upakaya evil house, that is, 6th house, particularly in the last leg of the star Uttarashada, whereby he gains power with Vargotama. Shani when placed in debilitation in the last of the Upakaya houses or the angular 10th house, he would attribute favors to Kataka. Additionally, his placement in the first leg of the star of Krithika owned by Surya, which would indicate his placement in his own house Makara in 9th divisional chart, would bestow a lot of favors, but his attainment of Nichabanga by conjoining with Surya or Mangalore gaining power by way of retrogression in this debilitated state would reduce the good effects. Placement of Shani in the ascendant is not favorable to the natives of Kataka. In this configuration, the native would be very adamant, highly principled, would be unable to adjust with anybody in the society and also be very selfish. Only if he attains Subathuva in this configuration would he camouflage the above-mentioned characters and be inclined spiritually. His placement in the 2nd house, Saima, would affect the status of finance and family during his dasa. Placement of Shani in the 2nd house is never beneficial to any of the ascendants. His attainment of exaltation in the 4th house would also not do good to the natives of Kataka. Attainment of retrogression along with Subathuva and Sukshma strength would only give favorable results. His placement in the 5th house would affect the benefits from providence and children. His placement in the 7th house would result in a good married life only when he attains Subathuva there. Otherwise, he would ensure delayed marriage, no marriage or unsatisfactory marital life. If he attains Subathuva in the 8th house, he would facilitate the native to earn in a different country or state. But, he would encounter problems there too. Shani in the 8th house ensures longevity. His placement in the 9th house would affect the father. It would result in either death of the father at a very young age or father not contributing in any way or constant tussle with the father. Shani placed in the house of expenditure, 12th house, being owned by his friend, would not do much harm. He would encourage long journeys and also contacts in other states and countries. The most powerful is Vara status from Shani. While describing the supreme benefit of spirituality bestowed by Shani in the previous chapters, I had indicated that Shani is responsible for the supreme knowledge on spirituality involving magical powers, thought-provoking questions that cannot be answered easily, like what was I in my previous birth, where would I go after my death, etc. Our holy scriptures describe the attainment of 7th advancement in senses as the attainment of state of Indra, which can be realized by way of penance and meditation by the mankind born with 6 senses, that is higher than the state of animals with 5 senses. When a human being elevates further to attain 8th advancement in senses, bettering the state of Indra with 7 senses, he gains Ashtama Siddhi, attainment of 8th bliss, and becomes a Siddhipurusha, holy man. When one attains this Siddhipurusha state, he becomes aware of Trikala, past, present and future. When one further enriches his spiritual knowledge while being a Siddhipurusha with 8 senses, he moves further forward to reach the 9th level of wisdom, called as the status of Iswara or Almighty. Combining with him totally, to attain divinity, our holy scriptures revert this highest state of Iswara is regarded as the attainment of ultimate knowledge. The configuration towards elevating mankind to this highest state with 9th sense is possible by the aspect or association of a powerful guru with the ascendant, the moon sign or Shani, and association of another spiritual planet, Ketu. In such situations, Shani would be with the maximum Subathuva. The other subtlety hidden in the spiritual status is that a solitary Shani can never provide one. The association of the principal spiritual planet, Guru, with the ascendant or the moon sign can alone facilitate Shani to enthuse spiritual inclination in a person. Also, Shani without the association of Guru or Ketu can never elevate a person to the highest echelon of spirituality, as Shani is a malefic, who is devoid of any favorable radiance. Under no circumstances would be able to function all alone.